Hi, I'm Allison Warren, and I am here to do my podcast for Physics 111 with our teacher, David Weaver. This is week number 4. This week has kind of been a whirlwind. I've been confused and frustrated, just trying to catch up and feel like I'm learning everything. We did a lot of work on our project, which was fun. Eventually we finished the project, and I feel that it turned out fairly well. It can be difficult working in groups and having everyone perform equal duties, but I do feel like I was able to have a really good group and we accomplished equal tasks. We also went over thrust analysis and reviewed various formulas to find acceleration, velocity, impulse, Newton's laws. I know a lot of this material is new, but I feel as though I haven't had as much time to practice as I would like, so I've been working on that and been trying to keep busy with all the other work that we're doing. It is kind of nice in this class because we have a perpetual accumulation of work if you're not staying constant and staying up with things. So I do find myself trying to continually be focusing on physics, which I do feel like is to helping me in to learn it and make it seem a little bit more familiar. We did learn this week how to use some different aspects of Excel. This was helpful as there were tricks in Excel that I did not know how to use on my Mac at home, so that was kind of nice. It made it easier to interpret and calculate data, and I am quite quick to usually jump to my calculator and find the solutions that I need, so it was nice that Excel was able to do some of that work for us and I didn't have to go through and calculate each individual column that we were working with. I think this knowledge will be useful and provide me with useful resources to use one day in my dental practice, so hopefully it is somewhat applicable in my own life. The thrust analysis was nice to have David go over. I didn't realize how to kind of break it into workable shapes, and that was helpful when he went over breaking it down into the triangle and trying to find the area of the triangle and then trying to find the area of a rectangle and kind of breaking it down that way. I also worked on and reviewed some of the wiki notes. I am finally kind of understanding what we're supposed to be doing with the wiki. I was writing kind of a personal contribution at one point, and I did realize that we're trying to just make kind of a chronological log of what we did in class and what we needed to work on, or maybe things that we went over that maybe we might not have understood, and seeing someone else's viewpoint might have helped us to understand or remember something that went on in class when we look back. I did set up a blog and work on that a little bit until I found out that mostly my blogging will consist of this podcast, which is kind of nice. I know that we will be having some personal interviews coming up in a week or so, and I really want to make sure that I can get polished for this interview, and hopefully I can understand some of the graphing and interpreting the graphs. That seems to be what I'm having a hard time with, and that has kind of perpetually been something that's hard for me. I'm not sure why, but I'm hoping to have David help me a little bit with that over the next week. All in all, it was an interesting week, and I probably was a little bit stressed out and could have had better attention to detail and better organization, but I'm hoping that these interviews will go smoothly. I do appreciate that David is kind of a laid-back character, which doesn't mean he doesn't want us to work and make sure that we're learning the material, but he's very patient in teaching, and I appreciate that. So all that being said, I hope we have a wonderful week coming up in physics, and we'll be turning in our project, so it will be nice to get some feedback and make sure that we're doing things correctly.